Okay, so it's 3:55 on the 5th. We're still here. There was a lot of stuff that happened yesterday, but it doesn't seem to be the thing that turns us the other direction. So here in Spokane, they had at the fireworks show. I've seen videos of that. I don't know what all happened. It just is. But what a better way? Like fireworks are going. I mean, a lot of people aren't going to notice that there's a lot of pop, 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 pop going along with it because there's a lot of pop, 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 pop going. So the people all stand there. The fireworks suddenly stop because if you go to Riverfront Park, and there's a huge fireworks display or show, and I don't remember where it comes from, but you can see it at Riverfront Park. So Riverfront Park fills up. So does Coeur d'Alene. Fills up. Oh my gosh, so crowded. And Riverfront Park's huge. The and Coeur d'Alene too. So both of those big shows, and I don't know, Coeur d'Alene's got shit going on already, where other people are saying there's some weird stuff about it's getting weirder and weirder over the whole ambush situation. But yeah, to me, it's like red flags. As soon as I heard anything, it's like, no way, no way. So there's more shit that's getting weirder about that. So it's got to be something to expose stuff. And I was thinking, isn't that where that weird university thing went down, where all those kids were killed in their room, and there was 2 left or 3 left, and then this guy was over there, and then he said he did it, and there's a lot of weird stuff with that too. So I don't know. There's weird stuff all around. It just kind of depends on where you're at. Texas is getting its ass kicked again. And this flood that happened that I think it came out of the blue. I don't think people were expecting it because there was no evacuation. It was a major crisis. And there was one woman, I saw her video, and she said that she was seeing something was going to go at a camp. There was going to be something bad's going to happen at a camp. And then look what happened. See, there's lots of people who are getting real visions and stuff, really seeing stuff. And it's all, none of it's good. It's all just bad stuff, bad stuff, bad stuff. And there was another one, what city was it? Philly's got its fucking, I think it's Philly, the garbage problem city. It's like, oh my God, the amount of garbage. And that is just going to be, oh God, and who's going to clean it up? I'm telling you, they're going to just destroy these cities. Cities are just going to be, like, it's totally like an exodus situation. It's like you got to look around and be like, this isn't for me, and move forward in some way. And I bet you also, you have to get in tune with yourself and follow your own path, your own guidance, because you come in on a path. That's why you have like life path number and stuff. It's like everything is a set thing. Your transit, your things where you're going to meet people. Like this story, like, and I feel so certain that this is common, that this isn't some weird thing. But so this girl and guy were looking at old pictures, and they're married, and so they're looking at old pictures, and they found this picture like 22 years ago of her family at Disneyland or Disney World or something, and they're looking at this picture, and all of a sudden the husband's like, wait a minute, that's my dad, that's me in that stroller, that's me behind you. And they're like, what? How could that be? Especially because he was from Canada and she was from Florida. They weren't even in the same country. They didn't live in the same country. They're little tiny kids. And so they go over to his family's house, look through the pictures, and yeah, that was them that day at the same place at the same time when they were little kids crossing paths. Because there's swing arounds. Like, even if you don't have, you haven't met them yet, they're still going around you. There still is some, and and I don't know how big their orbit is. It could be, but one thing, and then you hit into another and meet. I don't know, but I know that we cross each other's paths, and that's not the first story I've seen of that. Of the people being in the same place when they were little kids. That one girl, she had that whole weird story about, I haven't seen her in a long time, about the one guy, no matter where she moved, what was going on, the same guy would come into her class. And it just kept going and going and going, even to the point they were in college and she was out of the country. And I think she was doing a study out of the country or something, and went to like a pub or something. And there he was, sitting there with his friends. And it just happened over and over and over, to the point where it kept being like, this is weird. And they couldn't figure out like why. They kept crossing paths. Well, you have some kind of soul connection. They're there for each other. And even later, the thing that was really strange, I think, where she started telling all this long, weird story. It was so weird how many times that they would be in the same classroom, the same space or something, is when her coworkers was getting married. And then she found out she was marrying him. I was like, what in the hell? This guy just keeps coming into my reality life, my reality bubble or something. And it's all for a reason. She was trying to figure out the reason. They kept trying to figure it out, and they were doing more investigating and stuff. But there's a reason. And nothing is by accident. Everything is very designed for you. And so I don't even know how many people got killed in the Texas flood. There's also another fireworks show. I think it may have been like, maybe it was by Jersey or something. Because maybe it was in California. I don't know. It seemed like that it was like at a boardwalk or something, and all the people were running. But I'm sure that there was a lot. I'm sure there was probably a bunch. Because, yeah, it's perfect. All that pop, pop, pop. You can really hide the pop, pop, pop. And here, I can't believe, I was so frustrated last night. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you're in. It doesn't fucking matter if they're $1 million houses or you live in one with trailer park. Everybody's going to go spend money on these stupid fucking things, and then they're going to just sit and blow them off and never think about, how it affects anybody else. It's like, are you seriously this committed to celebrating the Independence Day of America, which I still am so, like, weirded out about the whole, because this is the first time I've ever heard of this throughout my life. This is the first birthday celebration of the Army that I've ever witnessed, that I've ever experienced. So I don't know if it's been every year and I just didn't notice or what. But yeah, I just am thinking it's real strange that our Army is older than our country. Like, and then if it is a war that gave us our independence, and but it's a country of an army, and then when you move forward through what happened next and what happened next and what happened next, it's very violent of killing out tribes and like, no, it's just, I swear to God, it's all just to get people to think, to wake up and to think it through and think about it. And, what do we stand for? I mean, we got people out there just making noise all fucking night just because, I don't know, they like noise. They like to just pop shit off. It started raining, so I don't know if that's what stopped it or whatever, but oh my God. And it's still raining. So, I don't know. To me, I've never, ever, not since I was a kid, never, ever. I've been to some fireworks show, because I've taken my kids when they were little, but I've always hated them. Never liked them. I don't like that loud noise. Yeah, it's pretty to see all the sparkles in the sky and stuff, but the explosions, like, I haven't been in a war in this life, but you carry these things with you. And You know how much damage it does with the animals. Like I just saw a video of somebody, there's 4 donkeys in a neighborhood panicking. Like these, I don't know. We just are not in harmony with the planet at all. People are so self-indulgent into, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want to do? It's all about me. And don't even think about like, okay, I want to do this, but it's not going to affect everybody in a good way. So should I do it? Should I go somewhere else and do it? Like, people are just like, don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about you or you or you or you. And, which last night, it says, I've gotten this conversation with my daughter. So we're watching the Love Island show, which I've almost caught up to her. So if you want to start watching it, it's 40 episodes, I think. Could be a couple more than 40 or whatever, but I think it's around 40. And the rest of the country's on 27, but I'm almost done with 20, so I'll be caught up with them in the next couple days. Could be caught up with them today. We'll see what today goes like. Yesterday, oh my God, I had the worst fucking headache all day. God, it was horrible. And in my stomach, everything on me was aching. It was horrible. Like yesterday was fucked up. And I was just like, I kept trying different things. I took so much magnesium, you wouldn't even believe it. Which just cracks me up because when my nurse practitioner started telling me to take magnesium for my migraines back in my druggy days of being hooked on the paper drugs that we are allowed to take, that when she told me, well, just take magnesium for my, it's like, what are you trying to pull on me? Now it's like, give me more, give me more. And now I have such a different attitude about it. But anyway, so there is a lot on this show because it is like, I don't know, it's very representative of like a certain culture, a certain generational culture parameter. It's like, I don't know. Like, this is the kind of stuff where my kids are like, oh my God, Mom, you're such a prude. It's like, how far are we going to go? How far do we take this shit? Like I said, I mean, they got S&M going on there. But all these people, the stuff that they keep doing, this is going to follow you. This is on, there's footage. And it's going to follow you forever. And these people have no idea how people are looking at them. They have no idea. They're cut off from everything. So they don't know until they leave if they're even liked by people. And or people's attitude, and everybody's gonna be judging everybody else. At least the one girl who was losing her fucking mind earlier, she has regained her composure. But there's such a phoniness. There's such a phoniness and such a, like, no matter what, is still, when she's talking to somebody, she wants them to make her feel better. Like, you need to do this for me. You need to make me feel this way. This is what I need. This is what I want and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. There's a different way to go about things. And it's toxic. Like, you shouldn't be trying to get someone else to fill your needs and make you feel better. And when you are, because you're going to have toxic relationships when you're doing that. You just will. And, what was I going to say? Because you got to be able to fill your own cup. You got to be able to know what you need and take care of yourself in a lot of ways. You just can't put that off on somebody else. And if somebody is coming at you like that, because this couple, where it was so toxic from the start. Now he's out, so he's on TikTok. And he is now coming across as just like this super great guy. He started a book club even. and he's just super friendly, like, he's a really nice guy, apparently. And on there, he seemed like a nice guy, but he seemed very much like he was locked onto this girl at the very beginning because she was his type. This is another thing on there. oh, she's my type. She's my type. Are you my type on paper? Are you my type? You look like my type. All this stuff. It's like, this is, this is a creation of toxicity right there. Because superficial things is, your type is, you're just good with it. As long as she's got a big bouncy butt and big boobs and long dark hair, you're good. You're good to go. Like, that's all she needs to be. Well, let's see how that gets you in about 10, 20 years. Let's see if there's not a rift that happens somewhere in there where you're not in alignment, because you're not even getting to know each other. And so when they start spending so much time with each other and stuff, she wants him to feel all her needs. He needs to do this, he needs to do that. And then there's always a giver and a taker. Narcissist behavior cannot just develop by itself. You have to play the other part. And he kept trying to say, this is toxic, you're doing this toxic. And she starts with her gaslighting, deflecting, and all that. But you have to be able to, pull ties, like say, no, this isn't good for me. I'm sorry, I can't fill your needs for you. I can't fix you. I can't make you feel better. And if I'm not what you want, then let's just cut ties. Like, why would you be sitting there saying, well, I want you, but I want you to do this, 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 this. And if you don't do this, then you don't really like me. You don't, it's like, no, we got to be just like, well, we're not on the same vibe. We're not really vibing. And it took him like weeks. Like, so much of this drama in the show was about their two toxic relationship and how it affected everybody else and everybody else, perspective. And but you, I mean, it just is so obvious. It's so clear. But the things, the generational stuff is how much stuff they just, like, it's just normal to just, I don't know, like they don't just kiss. Like, there's all these kissing. I love to kissing challenge, they don't just kiss. They don't just do like a quick little nice kiss or something. No, they go full on into the kind of sloppy kissing you do when you're in the midst of, like, passion, and you are, getting sloppy, and you're getting spit all over your face, and it's getting crazy. That, they just do that. They just go in, just full on, just go into sloppy kissing, right? Pulling their tongues out, licking it. Oh, it's just like, I don't want to watch this. It's in hearing all the slurping. Are they adding extra noises in too? It's just kind of like, God, that's just gross. But, I mean, at some point, you're here looking for your love of your life, and it's really narrowed down. Out in the world, there's billions of people. In here, there's like 10. No, there's like 5 or 6, really. But you're going to find the love of your life on this one. Not out in the real world. Okay. And you're going to get paid or attention for degrading yourself. So it's like this, degrading yourselves. Here, wear this, and then do this. Be, tied up in front of the world. Be, go on here and do some soft porn. Give us some soft porn here. And there's so much voyeurism. I can't believe how they just all seen them. Oh, yeah, that really turns me on. Yeah, watching that. It's like, God, what a voyeuristic society. Because I know, so I'm not the only one who's like, oh my God, this kissing is gross. And all these tongues, seeing all these tongues is like, oh. And then the people who are on the show, oh yeah, that's so hot. Oh God, I'm so turned on. Like, what? Is this your script? Or are you just this much of a voyeur? You're just watching so many tongues. Somebody else has got you just hot and bothered. It's like, ooh. Man. But it's like, because they're young, they don't know. It's like, you're going to go on in your life, and you're going to meet people when you're 40, 50. There's going to be people who you're going to meet, and they're not going to know about this stint that you had. And they're going to, when people know, they're going to have a certain view of you. Like, and people are going to go look up that stuff. Like, you go start a job, and you want to to be taken serious. And this has happened. Like, I've seen this happen to people. That you go start a job, and then you think like, oh, nobody will know. I think the person that I had heard of, maybe it was Maury or something. It was one of those shows where it was like, and then everybody goes and looks up. And there was also, maybe this was in a movie or something, but somebody doing some porn or something, and then going on with their life. But then people figure it out, and then they go look it up, and then it follows you. And then you think those people who you're wanting respect from are going to be like, oh, yeah. No, they just watched you. They just watched you have sex with people. Like, there's literally people having sex on this show. And you see, like, it shows the beds and the... And then they get up in the morning and talk about it. Oh, yeah, we did it. And then there's always more drama, too. Because then it's... because, sex takes it up a notch in emotional connection. And it's got to be taken more serious. I mean, we as a society need to, think about where we're sticking our dick and be a little bit more serious about it. I'll just, any hole will do, anywhere. Yeah, I'm getting all this, like, all these really pervy holes. Like, you got people with animals, you got people in gas stations and whatever those little holes are called. Like, and guy over the next one is like, good for green. It's like, oh my God, what in the... At parks, people go and meet up at parks just to go have sex with strangers and stuff. At some, I think it's like around trucker places. I don't know, like, but at least it's not on film. At least it's not gonna follow you. Because if you change your mind and you're like, yeah, well, I did it a little while, it wasn't for me. Like, I'm just so thankful that the stupid shit I did when I was younger is not on film. It's not gonna follow me. Well, I mean, it didn't follow me that I know of. But this stuff will. Like, what about when, somebody's going to want to marry him? So you're going to tell them, you're going to go look it up and see, and then hopefully they really do love you and really want to be with you no matter what stuff you've done. But it's going to turn some people off. Some people are going to be like, especially some guys with some of these girls, will be like, no, you did all that? No, God, if any of my family or something found out, or any of my friends knew, everybody's going to think I'm with the biggest whore. And that bothers some people. Like, they don't want that. That's why these girls going out and trying to sell themselves as being, so that's another thing. Like, I am a good time. I'm a real good time. And yeah, you should like me because I'll make it worth your while. It's like, okay, that's your lead in. Yeah, you should like me because I'm a good time. Yeah, I look right and I got a good, and that's the thing too, is all these people. There is some girls who come in that don't seem to have a lot of facial stuff done, a lot of fillers and stuff, but there's some that do. And it's weird because it's like they think that they are like the perfect look or something. It's like they're trying to get this look, and instead of just looking like themselves, so they're like creating this avatar, this fake avatar. But then they think, that, well, I'm so good looking now. It's like, yeah, it's all subjective. It's all objective. Like, okay, I'm glad you feel confident, but you put all this in that you've got the look you want, instead of just learning how to accept the look you have and loving yourself. So they go in and make all these changes. What was that? Because I had heard somebody saying something about, I can't remember, but you do change yourself so you don't look like yourself anymore. That's the thing. And then, but there is people who that, like what your grandkids find out. And I've heard these kind of stories too, where like grandkids like, oh, found out their grandma was in Playboy. What do? They all go find the magazine. They all go find the film. They go find this stuff. And so it carries, it follows you. And then, how proud are you going to be? And what kind of role model? You got a teenage granddaughter, and she goes and watches grandma on film, just doing it with all these tongue hanging out, her ass hanging out, her boobs hanging out. Like, there's barely anything covering these people. I think that that's another thing. They must give them the wardrobe. I've never seen so many cutout dresses. It's like, well, we're just going to put a couple pieces here and a couple pieces there. I don't really get, like, why this is such a big trend to have clothes just, what are you, taping some clothes over some areas or something? Is there no, like, I don't know, it's like there's such a lack of dignity and such a expression of phoniness of, like, look at how good I look. It's like, I'm not barely wearing anything, so I'm hot. I've got a hot body, and look at what I can wear. It's like, well, guess what? There's a lot of girls that have a hot body, and they're not out there just barely clothing to try and pull in somebody because they got something more to offer. So it's like, most of these people, you've got more to offer than this. But this is the show, and this is what they signed up for. And this is the shit that's going to follow you. You're 20-something years old now, but like, you got a lot of years to go. And this is 40 episodes, 40 hours of footage that is going to be following you now forever. And your footprint in this society is this soft porn show of what people do for money, and the, like, elite people who have all the money. It's like a joke or something. Like, we look like a joke. Like, we will scramble. I see that kind of the guy who's got all the money and shooting at the guy's feet, dance, when making the guy dance. That's what it's like. We'll just do whatever for money. We're just so desperate for money. We'll do whatever. But, we'll... There's a lot of gross stuff coming in my mind. I won't even say. But, you can get my drift what I'm saying. It's like, how low will we go for some fucking coins? It's like, god damn. But that's what I'm saying. It can be generational. Because, like, is this generation... But the thing is that this generation that thinks, oh, all's good, it's like the driving machine of what's going to drive us right out the door. But, luckily it's going to flip the energy, but that is where people are going to really give a hard look at themselves, where they're going to be like, oh, God, I can't believe I did that. So much of that is going to be when the light comes on and they connect to themselves. There's going to be so much of, like, oh, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. And so, I don't know. I feel bad. Like, our society, all I can just see is, like, there's so much darkness in our society. There's so much lack of character, lack of depth, and not believing in themselves. And, but then you have these people that are all sitting there talking, I'm professional, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm doing so good with this. And, like, like, what is this, the new girl? What is she, like a finance person or something? I swear to God, there's a finance one in there. So you're going to go up with all these guys. Like, you're going to go in with a room full of, like, 30 guys. You're the only girl, because finance is heavily on the male spectrum of employees. So you're going to go into that. And you think these 30 guys are not going to be looking at you across the table, just picturing you bent over by that guy and your ass flying around the place? Okay. Okay. And you think they're going to be respected? You think you're not going to be catcalled and harassed? They're not going to be always looking at you. And even if they can't do that at work, they're not going to just be looking at you just going like, oh, yeah, well, of all these different guys wanted to go out with you because they want to get that experience as well. They want to see your ass flying around. So, I don't know, people they're so led by their impulses. They're so driven by greed and desperation. And then they don't have a real belief in their true character. Or they don't even know their true character. They're just a bunch of things put together. you know, just a bunch of checklists. And they're underdeveloped character, really, because they haven't come into their own. They're still in the people pleasing, trying to be this cool person. Like, they had a Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, so all I had ever heard about this lady, which when I first was hearing, I was like, so are they saying that Megan is a man? Like, I was confused over all the different stuff I heard of this person because I didn't even know who they were. And then Kamala had her at her whatever when she's trying to confirmation when she was trying to run for office. She had her come to one of her shows, just like she had Beyonce. She had these people who were just paid to come. But so that's where I heard this girl, Megan, was at this for Kamala thing. And all these people were like, oh my God, that's who you're having come, you know. But so she comes on the show, and she's definitely, I don't want to say a sex performer, but, you know, the sexy performer, that there's a certain side of our society that is being pushed. Like a girl, like a Katy Perry or whatever, she goes in, like, there's so many of these girls, and so many of them who don't do it, who have spoken about it. So you go in and you got a great voice, you got a good look, you know, and we'll move you into, I think they even show it in A Star Is Born. Pretty sure the one with Lady Gaga, they show, like, yeah, we want you to be a musician, but you got to have this look. You got to carry, you know, and so you got to bleach your hair. You got to wear skimpy clothes. You got to do this and do that, you know. So they turn them into a character. And so this Megan, she came in wearing the same thing as what the other girls were wearing. These little swimsuit things where you're barely covered. There's nothing barely covered. And I was thinking, man, is this how this girl just goes around, like, being dressed like this all the time? Because people are just selling themselves as sex, 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 sex. Our whole world just revolves around sex, 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 sex. It's like, that is low vibration. It's not about love. It's about sex. It's about following into, feeding into your impulses. That's low vibration. So, and it's where people don't feel good about themselves, and they're looking for something to feel better. They're looking for some way to connect. But people no longer are like, here, get to know me, and maybe we will. No, it's like, let's just do that right off the bat and see if we connect. So, anyways, you know, that show, it very much, you know, shows a part of our society, where we're going, where it's headed and stuff. So I don't know, it's like watching a car wreck about to happen or something, when you know that the world's about to change and all these people are really indulging into the before, not the after. And the after is going to be hard. And but anyways, my daughter and I were talking about, because so on this show too, there was this one girl who was on it right from the very beginning, and I'm pretty sure she was some kind of ethnicity. I don't remember what. I was thinking she was Dominican or something, but she could have been Puerto Rican or something. But she was so she's just on the show, and then I don't know, I think it was like the second or third episode, all of a sudden she's just gone. I was like, where the hell did she go? And my daughter said, well, there was old videos or old stuff of her online where she was saying the N-word, and they just pulled her off the show, just took her, gone. I was like, whoa. I said, so, because she picked a black guy, and I was like, so, that's weird. She would be talking like that, and then she's coupled up with a black guy. And so I don't know what her deal, I don't know anything about her, but now there's another one, and she is, she seemed nice, But these people are all further ahead with her and stuff. So she has become, things have come out on her. And that was weird. It was like all of a sudden a spring and the chair just went, oh, that's weird. Things are so weird. Oh my God, things are so weird. So she is, what was I going to say? So she, oh yeah, so she's kind of annoying, I guess. She's kind of full of herself or whatever. So anyways, it's come out. She had a friend who was on the show another season. So she was trained for how to approach the show, what to do, how to, all the stuff. So she had somebody who trained her. She had a trainer to prepare her for the show. And so then people are right off the bat like, so this is like a fake character that she's created to move through the show and to make it to the end. Because at the end, if you make it to the end, there's one couple that gets like $50,000 or something. And so you get a lot of humiliation for that $25K, which probably, and then the government takes some taxes of it too. So then it could be more money, but anyways, it's, I mean, what is your self-respect worth? So the and then, you know, I mean, there's people who don't even like self-respect. Like, what are you, you fucking nerd? Like, you old-fashioned prude. It's like, well, what do we care about that? It's like, well, your soul does. There's a part of you that does. You just haven't found it yet. So anyways, and now there's stuff of her coming out and being racist, something on her old stuff. And so now all these people are calling for her to be removed. So I don't know what is going to go down with her. You know, I was like, well, that's weird. So she's racist too. And I said, isn't she like, and then my daughter said something about, well, she's white or something. I said, no, I swear to God, she's Dominican. She said she was Dominican. So who's she racist against? White people? And my daughter was like, you can't be racist against white people. This is what started this conversation. This is where they have the narrative that they have indoctrinated into people. It's like, how can you say you can't be racist against white people? I mean, there's a whole racism going on right now against white people. So how can you say that? I see it all over because I have a lot of people on TikTok, tons and tons of black people that I follow or see their videos and stuff. And they're always talking about it. Talking about other people in their communities and how it's time to stop this racism, that they've been raised on this, you know, white people are out to get them, white people suck, white people, you know, this black and white creation of division that they did to keep us in separation. And which is you know, a fascist perspective on division, keep the groups in separation. And that's why there's a certain group that don't realize that their stuff that they believe in or speak about is of this mind, this philosophy in life. You know, you are focused on the division and hate and you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, that they don't realize like this is that. Like this is and it's created in order to get this. And they did such this number on white people. And so so when I was talking to my daughter, I was like, and she's like, she starts going off on white people. How, you know, like, well, white people deserve. So then I start talking sense to the indoctrination into the programming. So I started saying things to, you know, break down the programming. So she said this, and then I said, what about this? She said that. I said, what about this? And so then it started being like, at first it was kind of like, you know, arguing like, you just don't understand or something. It's like, well, I believe I do. But then I start saying stuff like, because there's so much in the conversation. There's so much programming behind this. Even at one point, I said something like, "Well, um, they get the people to hate their own people, so people are racist against their own people." And she's like, "Well, I hate white people." And I said, "Are you okay? Do you hate a part of yourself?" That's what I'm talking about. You. This is to create this in depth, and this is so created. This is so like this isn't by accident. I mean, they thought it through. They made a plan and they put it in place to create this. This is the creation of these people, and if you want to call them people, I don't know what the fuck the vamps, the people in charge, the people who have been running this place or running this world, or who's in charge of our lab, who's in charge of our habitat. So but it's not like they're in charge of it. It's like they took it. It's like they've taken it, but we've all taken a knee. We've submitted. We've like submitted to their agendas. And so, they are essentially our gods, really. And until you stop and go, like, wait a minute, you're no God for me. So anyways, I was like saying, see how that is when you hate your own people. That is, that's so good. I can't remember all the stuff I was saying. It was like flowing because it's not me. So I'm not one. It's coming through me. And but there was a bunch of stuff that got an opportunity to say, and you got to not believe the media. The media is creating a narrative, and they are directing people into this because it's a distraction. If they keep us all over here fighting, then they can go perv on kids and kidnap them and eat them and everything else, while we're all over here arguing about who's got it harder, black people or white people. And we've got to, and the thing is like, our skin tone has no fucking significance other than what it is you're here to experience in your story. So you're here to experience a perspective through this avatar and through this the family ties. And so it's diabolical, keeps going over and over in my head. So but your skin color has no significance to each other, and this is where people start judging each other on skin tone. And the ones that believe all this racist stuff don't realize, like, because there's also a whole group of black people who were like, okay, white people, we don't need you to come in and save us. And that right there shows that you are racist against us. Like, you don't think we can save ourselves? You don't think we can get our own shit together? We need you guys to come in and stand up for us. So there's that whole thing playing out too. And so is where we interject ourselves into other people's things because we think, well, we got it all together, so we'll save them. And it's like, no, we don't. We're not here to do that. We're not supposed to. We're supposed to all come together, but you don't go in and each group of people needs to come into their own. It's like, no, the white people aren't saving the black people. The black people aren't saving the Mexican people. The Mexican people aren't saving the Chinese people. Like, no, it's what was I gonna say? It's like, this is an independent kind of thing. There's a lot of parts of our society that's like fracturing out, and it's like people are caught up in a web. Like a web was put around them. Diabolical. This web that is put around them to keep them. It's like a spider. And putting, they go and get their food and they wrap you up and save you later. That's what it's like. It's in our society is people are entangled into this web of confusion. And so they're misled because, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be looking down on the black people like, well, they can't save themselves without us stepping up. They can't do a thing. And it's like, no, that's racist right there. What the biggest thing is like, that seems strange is like that people in a superficial, shallow society, they think that skin color has some significance or character. And, it's like the, it's like where, it's just like in a, kind of neighborhood where it's all these like rich people where they have, the delivery guy is not the same color, so he stands out. So if there's trouble in town, well, it must be that guy. So it's very it's so superficial to judge someone on the color of their skin instead of the character that they are. So you don't get to know them. You don't know anything about them. You don't know their integrity, their heart, nothing. But you just umbrella them under the tone of their skin or their size, because people do it on everything. People do it on age, they do it on weight, they do it on skin tone, but they just don't see the person inside. All they see is the superficial side, and that doesn't matter. It doesn't have any significance. So you can't sit here and just say like, well, all black people are the same, all Mexican people are the same, all Chinese people are the same, all white people are the same. No, we're all different, and there's good and bad in every single group, and it's meant to be that way. There is no real good or bad. There is only a sliding scale of finding yourself and where you align, and your alignment is based on so much more of your coding and through your experience, and so through your perspective. And so each individual has its own perspective, and it brings something deeper to the table, not just your jiggly ass. And, and I swear to God, all these girls have fake boobs and surgeries and stuff. I mean, there may be one or two that don't have fake boobs, but a lot of them have a lot of enhancement. And I know, I had that. So I know it's based on insecurity and not feeling good about yourself, not feeling like you're good enough, not feeling like you're attractive enough, feeling like, well, if I change my body, then I will be more attractive. It's like, but that is where you're chasing something. You when you're chasing something like that, it takes away your confidence. And what is really attractive is confidence, liking yourself. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect looking. You don't have to be the beauty standard. It doesn't matter. What it matters is about confidence, even in your size, because all people like all different sizes. It's not just like, oh, every single person in the whole world only likes this one thing. No, it's quite an assortment of what we all find attractive. But it's still going to go deeper than that, because you just go with somebody you're just attracted to. There's way more to them than just what they look like. And there's way more to us. Like, do you want to be picked by somebody who just thinks you're good looking? And that's what everybody's putting out there. I just want to be good looking and then they'll pick me. It's like, yeah, but what about who you are as a person? What if they don't like that? How much of you are going to change? And are you going to go into a battlefield? Because when you're somebody's dream girl, you better be able to fulfill their dreams. And so it's like, no, you want to be seen for who you are and what you believe in. You want to pull the vibration to you, the vibration of what and who you are. And these people are. Everybody's pulling in this, because they're low vibration, they pull in other low vibration. So it's like a toxic cesspool. Everybody's shallow. Everybody's superficial. Everybody's very self-indulgent. Everybody is, has a lack of self-respect. They prioritize financial gain or attention over self-respect. I think some of them haven't even, like, our society is so dark, they don't even know or think about, like, how is this going to follow me? How is this going to affect me later on? It's just fun. It's fun. It's fun right now. It's very self-indulgent. Our society is built on that. They want to keep it like that. And because that keeps us disconnected from ourselves. It keeps us in a low vibration in this world. So it keeps us trapped in their prison world, because then you are stuck in this low vibration until you start learning how to respect yourself, how to bring it up a notch, how to care about yourself. And then this deep programming. But I did get a lot of chances to say some things that I'm sure was seed after seed. I'm sure that there's some stuff sprouting in her mind, because it was at one point she goes, well, I gotta go. I'm gonna go work out. And I said, okay, well, just think about this while you're there. But but I told her, I said, how did I say? I said, everything is about to change, because everything's about to go a different direction. I can't remember all the stuff I was saying, because like I said, it's like comes through me. And so it's like, I don't remember what I'm saying when I'm saying it. It's like, I guess it's, I don't know, trance channeling or something. You just listen to it and you just are saying the stuff when they're saying it. And so it's just kind of like, and that happens all the time when I'm talking to people. It just like I start hearing things, and so to me it's like it's coming from somewhere else. It's like that there's someone else that knows what this person needs to hear. So I just say whatever it is, and then and a lot of it is planting seeds. It's not like we're meant to go in and just change somebody. Like, the seeds are meant to sprout. They're meant to connect into themselves. And so it needs to come from within. You can't just turn people into, what you think that they need to be doing. You can just offer information of like, yeah, but did you think about this? Well, what about that? Well, what about this and this? And look at how this goes together. And so just give them more perspective, especially right now where this world is trying to keep them with minimal, because they want to control them. And so the more that we throw in a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but don't get all caught up in it. Don't get all mad and angry, and, let people just, take in information. Don't, I don't know. There's definitely been, separation, but I know that was created too. They did a whole lot of generational separation. So there's a whole lot of things, like I'm a prude, I'm a weirdo, I'm this, I'm that. And so they don't always listen to my perspective on things. And so there's a lot of, like, oh, Mom, you just don't understand. Mom, there's this, this, and this. It's like, well, what about this? What about this? Well, I look at it this way. Well, you don't understand what this person's life was like. Well, they don't understand what mine was like. And we're not meant to. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with it. It's like we're here to have our own experiences. It doesn't matter. And we're not all supposed to. And because, this army, I guess, that plowed through America, destroying and killing and segregating and putting people into ghettos, creating ghettos and reservations, and all this segregation that they created, and more horrible things, tons of horrible things that happened with the people. Then that what was I going to say? Is all of the things that happened, and the segregation, and all of the things that they did to create this. Oh yeah. And so I'm not held responsible for that. I didn't do that. As a matter of fact, in my inner knowing of self and my connection to my own patterns, or my own code, is I was on the other side through a lot of that stuff. I was in the side that was being pushed back and segregated. That's why there's a lot of us here to stand back up, because like I've said, it's like this going full circle. So we got pushed out, killed, murdered, all that stuff back then. Then, you know, we are coming back in to uh, go the full circle, to play the whole thing through. So it's a lot of the people who were the ones who were uh, killed throughout these different periods of time are here. And so it's probably all of them, probably every single one throughout these different things are all here some way or another. And maybe it could be like your guidance and stuff, but you know, we are from that. That we are from the part where we were being I keep hearing subjected. Oh, okay, so subjected to these crimes of innocence, like where people were just out living their lives, and then they came in and took them and stuff. But anyways, so I'm not going to be held responsible for the people who did that. Like, I'm not going to be under their umbrella. You're going to say, oh yeah, all white people are bad because look what they did. I didn't do that. I was no part of that. So I'm, you know, because this guy's over here bullying and we're the same color, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, we're on the same team. No, we're not. I'm not about that. That's that people. That's those people. The people who have done that. And then there's also, there's karmic debt. Like, you can't get away with this stuff. Like, it's not up to us to go in and get avenged and get revenge on all these people and put people in their place. And the ancestors of all these people are, which, you know, I mean, is there a bunch of ancestors of all these people? Or how many of the people are, you know, just from the labs for this new world that they were trying to create? So, which there's more stuff coming out now too with, in the science world, that, oh, time isn't linear. It's just things happening. What'd I say? So, yeah, doesn't all go together. It's just stuff, things, experiences. It's like a dream here, dream there, dream here, dream there. It's like it's just a bunch of stuff. And so but it's all these souls that go in and have these experiences. And I don't know, you know, the ones that did do horrible crimes to people, you know, they would have a different experience. Like, I don't know, those could be the politicians that are going to go to Alcatraz. And she did bring that up to me too. She goes, yeah, well, did you see that guy who, I don't know if they think I voted. I didn't do any of that stuff. I stopped because they're placing people, and I knew he's going to come and he's going to take us in a new direction. Like, that's all going to play out. And so I knew that was coming. But I didn't go and, you know, fill in the little circle. And, but, so, I mean, I don't know if my family thinks I did or something. So it's like, well, what do you think about now? He's just gone and built this, because they're all being told that he's gonna continue kidnapping people, which she brought that up to me about that they're just going in and taking people out of their houses. I said, well, I don't see it. That's something the news is saying. I've not seen that. And she goes, oh, what, living out there where you are at the lake, you haven't seen it? I said, no, when I go into town, when I go to Yakima, I don't see these big raids happening, all this big chaos and stuff. I said, that sounds like something they're just telling us to get us to be divisive and angry, and like they're controlling our emotions. I said, you got to start seeing they're controlling you through your emotions by lying to you. And that and I keep getting lost, hold on, that so they're controlling you through your emotions. Oh yeah, the alligator Alcatraz. So I said, and so she thinks like they're going and taking these people and they're going to put them out here in this alligator city. I was like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that's happening. And I said, I think it's being made up on the news, and I think it's to create a lot of hostility and anger and stuff. But yeah, I don't think that's happening because I have not seen that. So if I see it, then yeah. But I don't believe that's happening. I believe that this alligator thing is for judicial politician, like the people who have committed certain crimes against humans. Those people, I believe this is their new home, and I believe that that's what it was made for, and I believe that that these arrests are already going. I believe like Gitmo is pretty full, and when we're seeing like, oh, these CEOs and all his family, their plane just blew up, their yacht just crashed, their house just blew up, like one after another after another. It's like, well, they're probably the ones who are ending up in these places, and maybe they get to leave with some pride or something. I don't know. Like nobody's gonna know what I did if my boat blows up. I don't know. Or some of them, they're out and they're just giving us a story because they can't be telling us that everybody's meeting the squad. And I told her, I said that the punishment to this certain crimes is this, and this squad has been brought back. Like that used to be like, well, we're not going to do that anymore. Well, no, that's come back now. Now we have that is back. So I said that there's people who are meeting that, and it's these certain crimes that are punishable by this certain punishment. And that's all going right now. These people are all going down. And I said, so I believe that they are going to be in, this alligator jail. And I think that gives it a very different feel. Like when people are getting so upset that he's doing that, well, that's going to really be a big difference. If all of a sudden they start seeing the people who have been money hoarding and controlling us for a long time filling that place up, then you're going to be thinking like, oh, that place was so horrible, I should have never done that. Then I think it's going to be like, yeah, keep those bitches in there and keep those alligators. Don't feed the alligators. Let's keep them busy. like it's going to be a very different take on that place, I think. So we'll see. We'll see how it's going to go down. Like obviously, the fourth wasn't the big. Well, we don't really know yet because yeah, I mean, I was sick as fuck, man, and I don't know. Like our whole sky became smoke. So yeah, we could have been hit with whatever, their biochemical thing that supposedly is gonna be where all these people are gonna suddenly get sick. So I don't know. We'll see if that happens over the next few days or next few weeks, what goes down. But definitely, like, fuck, man, I was bad. And I feel better today, but I did the bentonite clay, and then today I'm gonna go back on this is the bentonite clay water, but I'm gonna go back on the CHDX because that removes a lot of heavy metals and toxins and stuff, so I'm just gonna keep detoxing. But I do feel better. Like I can't believe how many things were hurting on me yesterday. It's like every fucking thing hurts. And so anyways, but I feel better. But there is I think that there's going to be a lot of things like that if you have the perspective of like, this monsters making this horrible place just because you're an immigrant, just because you want to live somewhere different, you want a better life, you want to connect with other family members that are here. That's where this side of us that is being awakened, where we're going to no longer have them be able to tell us like what our boundaries are. We have to have an allegiance to this flag. We have to be under this umbrella. We have to separate. We have to be over here. No, that's all going to fall apart. And it's all going to keep being this movement towards this, like, well, that's not fair. It's not fair just because you want to go somewhere else that you can be put in prison and stuff. So it's going to keep breaking down. And it's going to keep going in our favor because that's where we're at. It's going to keep going in the direction that we want. And even Donald even says that, tell me what you want and I'll do it. But the people are so lost in such a war with each other, fighting over who's right and who's wrong. It's like, get over it, you guys. Like, there's no right or wrong. Like, you're wasting time. You should be working on yourself. But this is their part of their awakening. We'll see as it all plays out. But yeah, it's going to really flip perspectives when you start seeing other people go into these things that are really and we're going to keep hearing about their crimes, and they do horrible things to kids. They don't have any compassion or caring for human beings. They only think about money and greed and what they want, and they feed into their impulses and their desires and stuff. So anyways, it's going to kick them in the ass, and things are going to flip, and they're going to be, I swear to God, I just feel so sure that this Alcatraz place is going to fill up with really bad people. And it could be some, MS-13s or whatever, which, when I was talking to the other grandma, when my grandson was over here the other day, and we were talking about Eastern State Hospital, which there's weird things. For one thing, it's definitely this like a Tartarian kind of building. And then there's tunnels all underneath it. We were talking about the tunnels. And my mom was, cause she worked on the forensics of the ones where it's like, they've done really bad things. It's like, well, you're too crazy, so we're gonna put you in a crazy home instead of the prison. And so they've done some really crazy shit. And so she was working on that floor, and there was 3 different groups. And so she was talking about the one, and there was one of those guys that was there, and she said he was crazy as fuck. And she said that none of them were told that there was a whole thing that the FBI was watching or something, that the whole group of his group of, of whatever you want to call them, but the cartel group of guys, and they are monsters. They are so such psychopaths. They have no feeling whatsoever. It's like a total antisocial, a psychopath in an antisocial. Like when you go into the description, it is that they don't have any empathy. They don't have any feeling. They don't give a shit. So they can do horrible, horrible torture on people. Just walk away and go have lunch. Doesn't even bother them at all. I can sit and listen to people cry and beg, and they can skin them alive, and they don't give a shit. They just, nothing. They do horrible, horrible things. Like, if you don't know about the horrible shit that these people do, it's fucking horrible. And I knew that way before any of this stuff ever went on. I knew that way before Donald was coming down the escalator and said, that there's some really bad people in this thing. It's like, well, I knew it way before that. It's been in movies and shit. And maybe it's because, living in Texas and living in California, you're in a border place, you know more about some of this stuff. Because there's some really horrible things, and these people are really horrible, and they don't give a fuck. And so they had one of them in there, and on the forensic unit, and she was the nurse, and she was the nurse the night that was supposed to be this big break-in, that they were going to all come and kill the people working there and take their person with them. It's like, that's the kind of shit they would do too. And she said she couldn't believe it, because she was at work and just found out about it that night. Like, there was no preparation, nothing. It's like, of course, because this is how our fucking government works. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about us. And it's such a show. And look, I just want this, I want Pelosi, I want her to lose in court so bad. I want all these people to lose in court so bad. It's like, it's time for justice, bitches. And so when you've done some shit, it's no more hiding it, no more putting on makeup, pretending like everything's fine. No, the truth is coming out. And which on that show, they're saying now that on the 27th episode, they've stopped using filters. I was like, so they use filters on these people in this show? And now the filters are off, and so the people are all looking real different. And this girl who was talking about it, she's like, I don't know if it was like the new thing they're gonna do. They're not gonna be on film. I don't know what's going on, but she said the filters are off. So now I'm really curious to get to episode 27 and see all these people without the filters. It's like, because when you see people online, because girls do this all the time on TikToks, they'll go on and they'll put themselves in a filter and show how gorgeous they are with the filters, and then they'll turn them off and they just look like regular. And they're like, see how different it is? And then there was a girl who's one of those influencer girls, and she was always using a filter. And she said, so she did a video there. I have no idea who she was. I just saw this video. And I guess because I'm on the healing kind of videos and stuff. So she said that she's not going to use the filters anymore. She said that what it started doing is making her not like her own face. What did I say? How long ago did I say that? It's like I said that for fucking years. And so now, yeah, we got girls going like, it's making me hate my own face. I've got to stop using this. And then people don't recognize me too when I'm out. And then, yeah, all the things that I was saying was going to happen, it's happening on that. So so there is going to continue an about face pulling, you know, and there's so much healing behind learning how to love your own face, learning how to love your own self, just accepting yourself. And there's other focuses on your true character and stuff. And when you light up you, when you start the fire inside of you, your light comes through. People don't look at you the same way as you look at you. You can be really, you know, just like Jennifer Grey, you know, how we could all look at her and think, oh my God, she's the cutest thing ever. She's so cute. And everybody loved her. And Dirty Dancing, everybody's like, oh, madly in love with her. She's just the cutest thing ever. And then you take away her nose, and all of a sudden she just looks like everybody else. And then it's like, just like, there was a lot of people who just dropped off. And this happens with a whole bunch of people. Like Renee Zellweger, there's a whole bunch of people who did these little changes, and all of a sudden they didn't look like themselves. And people are like, oh, they're just not that cute anymore. And or it's a generic pretty. It's just like, yeah, they just look like everybody else now. But the thing is like, so for Jennifer Grey, she's going around thinking, you know, she's focused on her nose, I've got this very ethnic nose. I hate it. I don't want to have this nose. I want to look like every other person. And so just going through life hating her nose and wanting to get it changed. So she's thinking, you know, that she's finally getting her dream come true. But it just makes her look completely different than who she was. And the thing is that you think that everybody's looking at you the same way you're looking at you. You think everybody's looking at you like, yeah, she'd be real pretty without a nose. And you could have some people say that, but is that the kind of people who are going to be making decisions for you? People who are that negative about things, who are that, you know, everybody's got to look, you know, fake or something. Like, that's not the people that should be guiding our society. So, and there's a lot of that, you know. I mean, there's a lot of those Kim Kardashians on the front lines. So but when and that girl has changed her face so much. Like all these people, you know, oh, I look so good now. Well, yeah, so this, so when you're sitting there looking at yourself thinking, oh, everybody thinks I'm hideous, everybody thinks I'm ugly, look at my ugly nose and stuff like that. The rest of the people are looking at you going like, oh, I love that face. I love that. It's like so cute. Her nose, her whole look. And it's just weird because you have all the people looking at you thinking you look good, except for whatever, the one or two are telling you like, get rid of the nose. But then your insecurities, then listen to the two, not to everybody else. Then you go change and everybody else loses interest. And then they don't find you as cute as what they found you. It's just weird how that works because it plays out all the time. It's weird too, like even Megan Fox. Like so many of these girls that you see them and you think, oh, they got all this natural beauty. They just look like this naturally. No, then you go get these old pictures and it's like, oh, they looked so different as their own selves. But, you know, okay, you created this beautiful girl, but, you know, what about the girl who you left behind? What about you? Like, you're just creating a fake character. I don't know, there's so much impact, there's so much significance to learning how to love yourself and accepting yourself rather than to change yourself. And they do everything to offer us the change, you know. They try and make us feel insecure about ourselves, and then they want us to change ourselves so that we just get on the gravy train of change, you know. You just Because once your nose doesn't fit your face anymore, well, then, you know, your eyebrows aren't going to fit, your mouth's not going to fit. Like, nothing fits together. Your hair, your coloring, everything. You just start, you need to change this, you need to change that. And, but really, you don't need to change anything, you know, and you don't have to be everybody's cup of tea, you know. There's some, I don't know, there's so much more power to appreciating yourself and loving yourself and accepting yourself. That's the power play. And that's where you got the power in your hand. And not getting caught up in the negativity and the artificial solutions. And but you know, going towards the accepting yourself is always the key. And so you don't have to be, because I mean, seriously, are you the most beautiful girl? If it's all just surgically enhanced, like, I mean, there's all these people who think Kim Kardashian's so beautiful. Well, I mean, isn't she just a look? Isn't she just a template? Isn't she just a montage of surgeries? You know, so is she beautiful? Is her heart beautiful? Like, what is beautiful about her? Like, does she wears her surgery well? You know, all these different ones. It's like, I don't know. We got to change how we look at things, you know, and the different girls, like, you don't have to be perfect to be beautiful, but you have to feel beautiful inside your heart, and then you will shine. When you learn how to love yourself, and that part of you will shine. And so, you know, this is somebody else too, because who was that girl? The guy who they told us was JFK Jr. So the guy who played JFK Jr. for most of our lives, that even though he was supposedly killed, his girlfriend, so Carolyn, I think her name was, she was one of those girls where it's like, she's not like, to me, she had a different kind of nose or whatever, so she stood out. Like, she was an interesting looking face, and she wasn't just, you know, the typical template of beauty standard. She was so beautiful, and it's just like, you don't have to have this stereotypical face to be so beautiful. She's so pretty. God dang, she's so attractive. And and she wasn't the beauty standard. But like, there's girls that come in who don't comply to the beauty standard, who just shine and go, you know, without the perfect eyes, without the perfect nose, without the perfect eyebrows, without the perfect mouth, and they still shine beauty. And she was one who I thought, like, especially back when I was first seeing her, it was like, man, you'd think that he would be with somebody who was more beautiful or something. But then you start seeing her in all these different pictures and stuff, and then it's like, man, she's so pretty. She's so pretty. Like, you don't have to have the perfect nose to be so pretty. It's like you're breaking your parts down, and you're making it, it's like it's too much of a focus on this, and this, instead of just being the whole. And so, anyways, to me, she really gave me a new insight into beauty. And I don't remember, I think it was Lady Diana or something, was like, back then. And she has a nose that's not, you know, a nose from a doctor. She didn't fit the perfect beauty standard, but she was so beautiful. So there's lots of people out there who are beautiful without this complying to the beauty standard, and they continue to have their imperfect feature, and they look good. They look real good, because the more that they're comfortable in themselves, the more beautiful that they become. And you know, and I don't know where all her confidence, I mean, because she was rich as shit and she had a hot boyfriend or something, but she was very confident and shined through. She wasn't going around like, oh God, I'm so hideous. Don't look at my nose. Don't look at my teeth, or anything like that. She was just out there smiling and looking beautiful in pictures all the time. So, anyways, and this is a long time ago. And now supposedly, he's still alive and they're still together, and there's pictures of them at like rallies and stuff in incognito. But there is also, but you can tell, like, it totally looks like them. But but then also now there's the whole thing coming out, like, that's not even really the John F. That's not really the real one. The real one was traded out when he was younger. He was, I don't know. I mean, this world is so full of weird mystery, control, moving people around, changing gender. Like, there's so much weird shit. So much weird shit, like, with, just the Michael J. Fox and Scott Wolf. How much they look alike and act alike. And there's more of those. And then it's like, are they clones? Are they this? Are they that? Like, is it people playing other people? I don't know. Like, that weirded me out, because this was, when I saw the JFK Jr. thing, it was since all this stuff started, which there's people who have been looking at the calendars and stuff saying that 2020 was really the Mayan calendar of 2012, where they said everything was going to end in the one world, and we've already started going into the new one, because see, we're already on the bridge. We're just not to the place. There's a lot of work that has to be done to cross this bridge, but that we've already accessed it. We're already the entry point of change, and the old world is falling apart all around us. We're watching it, but there was all the talk about, Hillary's involvement in his crash and all of that stuff, and that they were killed and everything, and then but then it was like, no, he knew. And then there's all this conspiracy. Like, there's a lot of conspiracy around it. You can go look. So there was all this stuff going around about it. And then all of a sudden this guy comes out online and says, I'm the real JFK Jr. This other guy isn't me. And he has pictures and stuff, and he looks like the people. He looks like John, like how the other ones didn't. Like JFK Jr., the one that they sold us, that did George Magazine and stuff, he didn't look like them, and he was real tall. And but this guy looks like him. He looks like his dad, if that's real. Like, but what in the hell? Like, that has weirded me out. So all those years you were the world was selling us this guy was him, and this other guy is sitting back in the shadows. But that was this other thing too, where when I very first started watching Charlie Ward, the video that I think the first one I started watching was There's a New King. And so I was like, started watching, and it was a guy in Australia who has done all his family line stuff, and he is in the royal family line. He's saying that he is the true family line, and that these other ones that they've been putting forward are a bunch of people who have, like, the maid's kid and stuff. But I mean, there's also the whole thing about them being reptilians and all this stuff. There's a whole bunch of weird shit about the whole royals and stuff. But this guy is saying he is really out of the family lineage, that he got tossed out, and or they go in the direction that they want to go. It's not real. It's not true. It's not really. So I don't know, because he hasn't come into the thing, but he had things in court and stuff, and then his sister was saying it wasn't true. He's making it up, but there was a lot of stuff, and he had a lot of stuff in courts and stuff. But it's just weird. Like, if you're gonna take this guy who would be in line to be king, you're gonna move him out and put him somewhere else. You're gonna take this guy who's supposed to be, I don't know. I mean, this world is, all I can say is just weird. It's just weird thing after weird thing. And there's a part of the world of the people trying to keep it together is trying to make it make sense and hold it together and make it all linear, make it all go together. It's like, it's not gonna go together. There's just a lot of stuff, a lot of weird shit, a lot of, the best thing you can do is just tuning into your soul and what you're doing here, and try and stay focused on your path, what you're here. Oh, which I found it interesting too, is like, because on my life path of 33, and then Jupiter said, well, she's a life path 11. So I was like, I wonder how many other, out of all of the people who have been listening for a long time, I wonder how many of us are all 11s, 22s, and 33s. Like, that's interesting. Like, what is our life path link? And how many of us were like at Six Flags, and one of us walked past another one, like, it's weird, because we, the vibration is what pulls us in together. And anyways, I don't know, my mind just goes in all sorts of places. But anyways, I'm just rambling and talking about a bunch of bullshit, and we'll just see what goes on today in this bullshit world. But I can't wait to get this B12. I swear to God, I feel like the B12 is gonna make such a difference. Last night I did 2 braids in my hair because my head hurt so bad. It was like, there's no fucking way I can put all that weight on the back of my head. And so I did 2 braids. Oh my fucking God. That was hellacious to sleep with 2 braids. I'm never doing that again. I really wish I could do the bonnet, but I've gotten a whole bunch of different, I might try a scarf tonight and tie it. But yeah, I'm toss and turn too much or something. It's like, I don't sleep good with, and it's hot too. And on this show, like, it's such a popular thing with younger people, sleep in bonnets. And I think it helps your hair a lot. But anyways, mine whacked out, strangling me on both sides. It was like, oh hell no, oh my God, it was horrible. So yeah, I've got to, I don't know, trying to sleep with long hair can be an ordeal. Because if you just sleep with it down, oh, it will twist around you. You will have yourself like twisted all up in it. You try and do different hair things. Like, I've tried a lot of different things. So to me, I've not found the perfect thing yet. I know that women used to, they would do a braid and wrap it up, put it on top of their head, and then go to sleep like that. But that gives me a headache. The weight, guys. I wore a ponytail the other day, and my top of my head is still hurting. It's like, it hurt. I don't know. I have a weak ass head or something. Maybe that's why my hair is falling out. Like, I don't know. Anyways, I can't wait to start the B12 and see if that doesn't start making it grow more thicker. So I see on my eye is bullshit, and just keeps going and going, and having more. It's like, I feel like I've got a lot of things right now. It's just like the battle to health is not an easy journey, I'll tell you. And it's fucking, and they're doing everything they can to defeat us in our health. So, and then on the tooth, which yesterday, even that, oh my God, I'm not telling you, every single thing on me was hurting so bad, I couldn't believe it. And so that's the tooth thing. It's still going, still healing. Did you hear that? Oh, I think that's him snoring. I think that's just a snore. But there's so many weird noises. And there's so many people who are hearing so many weird noises, so much weird stuff in the sky. There's so many videos like that. Weird noises, it booms, trumpety, humming, screaming, lots of things going up in the sky, lots of news showing, how they're showing the sky, and then things will go across, and the news people just pretend like nothing. Lots of people talking about those things. Lots of different colors in the sky. Even I saw a video of somebody in Spokane, and the other night, and they were showing that or the other morning or something, there was all these pink, just these pink things up in the sky. Like, there's lots of weird shit, and it's going to, I think it's just to kind of get us to see, like, this isn't real. Nothing here is real. Like, pull free. Don't get caught up in their dramas. Don't get caught up in their bullshit, because that's what they're just feeding off of your energy. And I was trying to get my daughter to understand that yesterday. So I'll be curious because one thing is when you start telling the people, they'll become really resistant because it doesn't make any sense. And I said, well, things are going to make a lot more sense here when things turn the other direction. You're going to see things in a whole new way. And so, yeah, just like this alligator prison. Yeah, I mean, everybody can sit there and think like, oh my God, what a monster. He's going to put these immigrants in an alligator jail. It's like, well, I think that the alligator jail is for some people who are going to be like cheering for him to be in the alligator jail. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But it's just going to keep picking up steam. So now we have this weekend, which I'm sure there's going to be fucking more celebrations, more fireworks, more partying, more, because now the weekend just started. So there'll be a party. Yesterday, all like sometimes you hear noise on the lake and stuff, but yesterday it was like, oh my God. It was like, is everybody drunk out there? And you could hear screaming, all sorts of stuff. It was just wild. And so I'm sure it's going to be all weekend just wild. But there is, you know, where I did see people, is like, everything we go and try and do to have fun, they keep stopping it. It's like, yeah, well, that's what we're here to stop just indulge. Just, it's all about fun. It's all about the having sex. It's all about money. It's all, no, it's time for us to stop what we're doing, think it through, and start setting our priorities and start redirecting towards the world we want, not being just a byproduct of the world we don't want, and then just sitting and whining about it and being the victim in life. So anyways, we'll see how the weekend plays out. And then there's always, when there's drama, then, you know, what's going to happen on Monday. You know, we can always hope the banks don't open. I did get something sent to me from my bank that was all of a sudden the new information, this new information of the guidelines or something. So I don't know. I know that things are going to be changing. The money's going to be changing. Everything's going to be changing. And that's going to really throw people, because everybody's living this life. All of a sudden it's going to be different. So then you're going to have to readjust your priorities, readjust how you look at things, and really look at your biases. People just don't realize how biased they are. It's so crazy because they just have no clue. They don't even realize, like, but that's what you got to look at, is your biases, and they've trained you to hate the people that you are the same color as. So, and there's a lot of that going on. Like, so anyways, just, you know, it's all about love. That's what I told my daughter. I said, it's all about love. Love. You got to go towards love. You know, appreciation, acceptance, and stuff like that. We shouldn't be focused on hate and division. That's what the fascists want you to do. So, anyways, throw them a fucking wrench in their energy and focus on love. Focus on the things you desire, not just feeding into impulses, but what are the things that you really want in life? Security, love, good relationships, community. You know, think about those things. Put your energy of your mind. Don't let it spin out on all the things that they want you to spin out on. Focus it on the things you desire and where you want to be. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 2 years? Where do you want to be next year? So focus on that and making the changes to get you in the direction that you want to go. Usually the changes are just letting go of this old perspective, these old boundaries, these old, the old programs, the way you've been indoctrinated. You got to change it and see through it. So anyways, that's what I still see. I've been seeing it for years. I don't see it being any different. I see it the same every time. So anyways, I just say, look at, work on you and learn how to love yourself, because you can't go wrong. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong. You put these surgeons out of business, though. And so learn how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody else, because we all matter, and we got to, you know, have respect for one another, and have empathy and compassion, and know, yeah, everybody's got a tough storyline. Everybody's got something that's hard. So, and it doesn't have to do with just color. Yeah, there has been a lot of repression done by the racist in charge, but that is, like I said, I'm not held responsible for what they do. I've got my own issues I'm working through. So, anyways, you know, it's just opening your mind and seeing things differently. So learning how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody, and learn how to have the day you want to have, because that's where you should be putting your energy, not towards their fucking bullshit. So anyways, but we'll talk about it again tomorrow, and maybe I won't feel so out of it. God, I feel weird today. I feel weird as fuck. So anyways, I'll talk to you later.